Patriot Radio join forces. These veteran-owned stations are uniting to bring you top-notch, veteran-run podcasts, along with your favorite classic rock music 24/7. Stay tuned for the ultimate radio experience that celebrates our heroes and plays the tunes that never get old. From engaging discussions to timeless hits, this partnership has everything you need for your listening pleasure. Don't miss out on this exciting new chapter in radio history, as MB Radio and Patriot Radio come together to rock your world. Introducing J&J Beard Co., your go-to destination for high-quality handmade and natural beard products. Our family-owned business, based in New Jersey, prides itself on using the finest ingredients to bring you premium products that will elevate your grooming routine. Each product is carefully crafted with love and expertise, ensuring that you get the best care for your beard. Treat yourself to the luxury of J&J Beard Co. and experience the difference that true quality and craftsmanship can make for your beard. Join the J&J Beard Co. family today and unleash the full potential of your facial hair with our exceptional products. Find them on the web at jjbeardco.com. That's jjbeardco.com. Easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Make it clear that the views expressed by our host are not the official stance of NBR views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
Hello, friends. I'm Kent Skelton, and I'm so glad you are here. Together we can battle this struggle and find freedom from it all. Life is continuous, and it would be ridiculous to say that you or I don't experience those seconds, minutes, hours, or days that seem like they'll never end. Time continues on, regardless of how we feel or what we experience. We search, longingly for a way to handle and navigate through these situations we are experiencing. There has to be a way. Surely I can find the solution to get rid of these negative experiences and periods of despair I am feeling. Maybe it's not our own problems, but those of family members or loved ones that are living in pain. These pains may come from alcoholism, addictions, illness, grief, boredom, and in so many other forms. What will we do? Where is that light I'm supposed to be able to see at the end of the tunnel? When will I see it? When will this end? The timing to realize you need help is up to each of us. That's you, that's me. We are each individually accountable for ourselves. We have to make the change, and the timing is now. There's no time like the present to desire and begin that road to recovery. Together, let's reach that freedom from struggle.
Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the Freedom from Struggle show at Red's Round Table. There's no table here, but, just imagine we're around a round table. It sounds good. I got a guest with me today, Earl Gamble, and we're happy to have him. Look, I just want to welcome everybody here once again. Just each individual, whether you're a friend, whether it's the first time viewing the program, regardless of the social media platform you're seeing us on, we ask that you share with your friends, subscribe to MBR Talk or to wherever you're actually watching the show from, and we appreciate it. Feel free to make any comments at any time that you'd like for us to try to answer. And if we don't get back to it right now, we can always message you or, do whatever it takes to maybe get you on the show next week. And we're happy you're here. And we just pray today that hopefully someone, just one person, if one person can hear what what's being said, and it can provide a little hope, it can maybe help them see that light at the end of the tunnel. I consider the show well worth it. Okay. And there's also rewinds of the show where you can watch the show later. I know Saturday afternoon's hard for some of us, but there's always rewinds that are out there, and they're all over the place. Of course, you can always check me out, J.K. Skelton, or the Freedom from Struggle show, Freedom from Struggle on Facebook. And I would love for you to like and join that page. And if you have any questions anytime, you can message me or actually simply just make a comment. Here we go, Earl. I'm glad you're here with me today, brother.
Glad to be here.
Man, it really is a joy. We spend some time together during the week. We attend a Celebrate Recovery class together, and I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. And I just sit there and tell you first off that I've struggled with alcoholism, anxiety, depression, having lots of pain for certain reasons that might have happened in my walk over here, and I say walk over here, I say in portions of my life, and both in service and outside of service. I am but I am a grateful believer. My name's Kent. I go by Red here on the show, and we're so thankful that you're here. Earl, I'm so thankful that you're here also. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Earl Gamble. I'm also a grateful believer in Jesus Christ who celebrates recovery from addiction, alcoholism, anger, several things, but God's bringing me through it.
Hey, amen, brother. And look, I can keep on going. I've also had some of those anger issues, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about something I've just now started trying to throw away after we get into the program a little bit more. It's not that big of a deal to a lot of people, probably. It's a big deal to me, and we're going to put that out in the open. And man, I tell you what, I'm already in the first 24 hours of it, and it has been tough. Let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not for the weak at heart, man. It's tough. Although, like I said, you should say, well, that's no problem. Man. Just toss it away. Just throw it away. Just throw it away, But hey, sometimes it's harder than it seems. Isn't that right, Earl?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We have to keep on keeping on and take it. And sometimes it's one moment at a time, a minute at a time, a day at a time, hour at a time, maybe a couple breaths at a time. And things are tough, man. It's no joke. Life, trying to do the right thing.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Kent, and I think we're going to get into that. We can't do it on our own.
No way. And as a matter of fact, with you saying that, Earl, let me bring up a little something on our screen, and maybe we can share this and so folks can understand exactly what we're talking about. Now, this is not from us. We both attend to Celebrate Recovery here at First Baptist Church, Biloxi. We join on Thursday night, 6:00, eat a little food, fellowship together, and then worship together, slip down in small groups if you want us to hang around. And also, that's just an awesome thing to be able to sit there with brothers and sisters, fellow man that experiences a lot of the same things. so we can share what's going on in our life, what's working, what's not working, and we're not there to fix each other, but we're just able to, to provide a little hope. And we go by these biblical comparisons in a faith-based step recovery program, as much like AA, NA, and other 12-step programs you might hear about. But what we do the steps, and we also provide the biblical comparison to go with them. Earl, if you wouldn't mind, read the step 1 for us.
We admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, that our lives had become unmanageable.
And Romans 7:18 says, I know nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature, for I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out.
We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
Philippians 2:13 states, for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose.
We made a decision to turn our lives and our wills over to the care of God.
Romans 12:1 states, therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. And man, I tell you what, look, I'm going to go ahead and read step 4 also today, Earl, just in case we delve into it a little bit.
We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves.
Lamentations 3:40 tells us, let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. Okay, and man, these steps, the first 3, just so important. That 4th one, you come in there where you continuously, delving into the facts, looking at, that what are we about? What makes us? What are we made up of? And make sure that you're doing the right things, okay? And then as we keep on going further into the steps, if you can see them on the screen, you can just kind of glance at them. We're not going to read them right now, but these steps, going through them really helps. It doesn't really help. It definitely helps in recovery and a way to help and make improvements in our lives. And that's not just a one-time good deal working these steps. It's a continuous day by day. And we just got to keep on keeping on, right? And that first step, man, is so strong. Whew, and it means so much to me. I sit there and just kind of pumped up about it. That one, the second, the third, all of them do. But those first 3 steps are where you definitely start to make a change. Earl, we're going to be going into a break here in, man, like a minute. And we have to get a little station identification, if you will. I will say right now, though, we're with Military Broadcast Radio, where it gives veterans a voice. We have veterans that are in our audience, families of veterans. Most everyone knows a veteran. Of course, we're patriots, and we're part of the people might be watching just from the general population. These steps, this recovery type stuff is not for just one person, not one race, one gender, just for the military, just for the civilians. It's for everyone. Okay. I always like to say, we're sinners, and I mean, it's for everybody. If you're eating, breathing, able to live, able to walk this great green earth that the Lord has made and created, it's for you too. And if it's not, you're perfect. If you're perfect, okay, man, that's awesome. But you need to come to the show, because you don't need to be keeping secrets from us either. So hopefully we'll pull everybody in, invite each other to join our show. Earl, we're going to take a quick break right now. Hey, fans out there in the podcast land, the show land, we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsor and a quick song. And we really do, like I say, once again, we appreciate you being here with us.
Yes, sir.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, we told you we were coming back. This is Red and Earl, and we're with Freedom for Struggle at Red's Round Table. I will say again, I am, or not again, but for the first time today, but I am a United States Air Force veteran. I retired after 20 years. I've got some disabilities that are service connected, and that's kind of the platform that I joined here with the MBR, giving veterans a voice. This provides therapy for myself. Gives me something to do, tries to keep the mind active, and so many are really, really limited in what they can do, and they are able to come on here and also do podcasts. If you're a veteran out there, you're hearing this, you know of a veteran, you think they need something, they might fit in with a podcast, let them know about Military Broadcast Radio. You can download the MBR app on your iPhone or Android. Also look up Military Broadcast Radio, Military Broadcast Talk on your favorite social media platform, and follow. Ask a question right here on this show, and we will get back to you. And Earl, yes, I know that you didn't serve in the military, right?
No, sir.
Okay, and but you ain't got a problem with us military folks, do you?
No, sir. I love you.
He said, no, sir, not really. Yeah, he said he loves us. That's good. Look, we're all patriots together. I know some of us serve, but really we're all in the war together. And It's man, there's a spiritual war going on, and you could say a lot of these problems people have, they're man, it's just the devil, man, is working on us, and there's a difference between good and bad, good and evil, right and wrong, and it is just it's so tough out there. I mentioned that I was gonna talk a little bit about something, and I will just say, and I may have tried to do it a few times before, but that first step, let me bring it up again real quick. And we admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, that our lives have become unmanageable. This is partly all true on this, but I have been in a stage of denial, if you will, and not admitting that I really had a problem doing tobacco. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'd smoked before, maybe I'd stopped smoking, maybe I got rid of it. But now I've been known to put a little pinch between the cheek and the gum, and that's why the advertisers get. I guess it's their fault. They set me up for all this. But I've been put to have a little pinch between the cheek and the gum for most of my life. And I was told Earl today, I said, today's my first day of not doing it. Last night I stopped. I hadn't made it to the 24-hour point. I don't deserve a blue chip yet, but I have made that effort to make a life improvement and try to get by without that. I might be using a few little nicotine tablets or lozenges provided to me through the VA, but it's a medication, I guess, in my mouth now. It's not the snuff. I was a big Copenhagen guy, and it's nasty. I mean, it's not like blowing smoke around or something like that, but it is a bad habit. It's not good for you. And I stopped. Maybe I'll ask for a blue chip tomorrow somewhere. But what do you think about that, Earl? It doesn't matter. Look, there's so many different things that you can give into. I mean, and say, time out. I'm crying uncle. I'm done with that.
Yes,
and
sir.
Then there's so many ways you can be in denial, right?
Oh, yeah.
What does denial mean to you? What do you think? I mean,
well, I mean, it can mean a lot of things. Just the fact that, like you said, dipping snuff. Well, it's not that bad. It's not cigarettes. It's not, that's, to me, that's denial. You kind of trying to justify what you're doing.
It's
not a problem.
Certainly. And here's one big thing, and I like to say on that, and I'll bring it back up on the stage maybe one more time if I press the button in the right place. But being powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, our lives become unmanageable. But that step two, we know that we can't do it ourselves, okay? And we have to have someone more to help out. But that denial, I mean, hey, listen, and this could be touchy. I know that it can be touchy, but say with grieving, say with sadness, or just being upset at the world, depression, different things like that. It's people can slip into it. And I'm talking about just slipping little bitty ways. But if you don't do something, it can grow worse and worse and worse. And that's stress. And stress can do harm to our body. Okay. So one thing, it's not good for us. And Earl doesn't want to see, we like I said, we're going to celebrate recovery together. We're planning on going to church at the same time, same classes tomorrow. But he don't want to see me moping around, like a knot on a log or something like that. I want to see me all high and jumping around, having a good time, being loud, voice of the South type loud. But it doesn't always have to just be with that. When I think about being in denial, but not admitting we have a problem, there's always ways to get over things. Okay. Hey, I don't know, Earl, if you know Paul Peters. Does that ring a bell?
Who's that?
Paul Peters.
Paul Peters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I ain't gonna say that right now. You look at it a little later, but he made a comment on you, but he loves your face. I think he likes your beard, is what it is. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't know if he's a fellow beardsman, but anyway, hey, Paul, thanks for the comment there. And of course, I see Joe Hunt over there, and I appreciate his comment. He's seen some of the show. Look, comment in, and if you want me to, I'll comment back. If you don't want me to comment back, say, hey, do not comment, because I'm liable to. Okay, we ain't gonna throw no shade or nothing on it, but I might comment. Earl, these things, if we don't make those changes, if we don't, just like with the depression or say an anxiety, it's not good to keep that stuff inside. Grief, it's not good to keep inside. I don't think it's good to dwell on it. We don't always act upon stress and loss of loved ones in the same way. Okay. I know that, and I always share this with my mom about my mom, my sister and I with my mom. She passed away early. I say early in life. She was in her early 60s, and but she came down with that big C, that cancer word, and did not make it. Not even after a month and a half after we had found out she had it. But man, it hurts, buddy. It hurts, and I think about her every day. But I thank the Lord that I had the best mom that could have been out there for Kent and Kim Skelton, and that was without a doubt. Okay, but it was also for us with her. No, adults knowing we're going to have to put up with not having her around, not receiving that phone call, but yet we knew, because her faith in the Lord, we knew exactly where she was, and that gave us, it was more like, hey, a celebration party for her. She's finally going to be able to be with the Lord. Really wish you'd seen the grandkids and more, that she could be able to hold them and stuff like that. But my point is, we're grieving. As much as we loved her, we were able to let go, knowing that she is better and not in pain any longer. And there's so many things you can be in pain of, whether it's just physical pain, mental pain. Oh my goodness, it couldn't stop, I imagine. Earl, what do you think? I mean, have you experienced anything like that with those type areas?
Yeah, I lost my brother when I was 16 to a drug overdose. That was hard on me. It's still hard on me sometimes. But yeah, you got to turn to God for everything, man. He can bring you through anything, any kind of pain, troubles you have. And we all got something that this recovery thing can help us with. Depression, anxiety, anger, just anything. If we're honest, there's always something that we can come to recovery for, and God will bring you through it.
There's a never-ending list, Earl. I believe that of those things that really call for recovery.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. I'm almost 60 years old. I know things can be hard, and there are things that are out there that we do, that are fun. And I mean, I think it just seems like it's good old boy fun, or clean fun. But oftentimes it's not, because if there's profanity or vulgarity in it, it's really not. Okay, it might be seen to be fun, just like my drinking, which, mind you, I've almost been sober for 30 years. Praise the Lord, okay? And it's by God's grace that I've been saved and been recovered from that alcohol. I wouldn't be here today for sure had he not seen me through that. And that is a true blessing, okay? I got so many different things, but blessings. You can't beat it, and it's the Lord gives it. The Lord gives it to us, and I'm so thankful for that. But there's no sense beating around the bush when you're doing things wrong. And that's another thing. I've been here of late, and I hate hate, and you're not supposed to hate anything, I know, but I hate not somebody, not an actual thing, but I let a profanity, let a curse word pop out of my mouth every once in a while where I never did before. Now, there was a time when I did a lot, but I'd gotten away from it. But I noticed a little bit's crept back in, and not just to say it in my vocabulary, say, well, dang gum, Earl, but when you might bang a finger or get upset, I struggle with anger a little bit too, especially with folks when they're around me. It don't seem like they're doing the right thing, and I've just been short fused for the past year or two on several different things. Just think it's, some things I'm going through, but man, you got to control your mouth, and that is a bad thing. And I think I'm going to get a second blue coin, sports fans, because we're going to put away with that too. All right.
I'm with you for that.
I'm adding to my list.
Yes, sir.
But that's what happens when you're working the programs and you realize you do something wrong. And truthfully, I say that's the beauty of it. Because, hey, all of a sudden, I quit drinking, then, quit doing this or quit doing that, and, start putting these other things behind me. I stopped another thing I'm trying to do is not skipping out of church, physically being at church. There's been times where I hadn't felt good and got bad habits of staying up late at night because I'm not comfortable, can't sleep. I need to go ahead and get up the next morning. Got to get up the next morning and go after it. And that's not me. That's everybody. Earl, don't you how's your morning start? You start about 9-10 o'clock?
No, sir. I get up about 4:30 or 5 o'clock and start drinking
Woo!
coffee.
You up there with them chickens.
Yes, sir. Get up there with the chickens. Go to bed with the chickens.
I like it. Hey, look, we got to take another station break, folks. It's been 15 minutes has passed. We're just required to do this. I'm sorry, but we always got to hear from our sponsors, and we're thankful that they are part of Military Broadcast Radio. So let's go to this quick commercial, and got to play a song. All right, here we go. Be about 4 or 5 minutes. Y'all just stand by.
Introducing J&J Beard Co., your go-to destination for high-quality handmade and natural beard products. Our family-owned business, based in New Jersey, prides itself on using the finest ingredients to bring you premium products that will elevate your grooming routine. Each product is carefully crafted with love and expertise, ensuring that you get the best care for your beard. Treat yourself to the luxury of J&J Beard Co. and experience the difference that true quality and craftsmanship can make for your beard. Join the J&J Beard Co. family today and unleash the full potential of your facial hair with our exceptional products. Find them on the web at jjbeardco.com. That's jjbeardco.com.
All right, that was the word from one of our sponsors. We really appreciate the J&J Beard. We appreciate the LDT commercial. And hey, your buddy's comment made was probably a little bit of something about the beard. But hey, it's looking good, Earl. You're rocking that beard. All right, let's hear this song real quick, like.
Another regular day, nobody knows. It's that time, he's coming home to them from a foreign land. He pulls up, his mama cries, looks at daddy with tears in his eyes and says, nothing feels better than this. Couple of months go by and no one sees. Something just ain't right, all he wants is peace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free and put his mind at ease. We will help cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22 0 again. He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, "This is a man's best friend." Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22 0 again. Whoa, whoa. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22 0 again.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, we're back with you. Hold on just a minute. Earl, share something with everybody for just a moment. Anything you want to share about what we've
I
been...
was actually wanting to touch on something that you said before we went on the break there about going to church and stuff. Get an accountability partner, man. You know, if you're in a recovery program, if not, find a friend that, you know, believes in what you're trying to do and get an accountability partner to help you through things. Make hold you accountable for things that you should be doing and ain't or aren't doing that you should, you know, just accountability partners are real important, I think.
Accountability partners, sponsors, somebody else. We don't do it by ourselves. We can't do it without the Lord, but we also have somebody. We need somebody that can hold us accountable, but that is willing to listen on a regular basis. That person you can jump on the phone with and call. That person you can pray with. That person that you can confide in anything, Earl, something that you wouldn't tell anybody else at the current time. But hey, I know I can tell this person, and it could be a he or she, girls, guys. But you know, there's got to be somebody that you can talk to,
somebody you trust, and somebody you get close to, and that you, like you said, you can share your life with the real deep down parts.
Right. Right. And that's so true. Thank you for sharing that. That's an awesome point, and you can't go wrong with that. I mean, you have to do that. Us hanging out together is good stuff for both of us. Men need to have another man, around a relationship with that's can be honest, okay, but be tough, be doing things together, but just having fun, doing stuff, but knowing you're not falling into those temptations that are out there, especially of something that you're trying to get away from. Sometimes we have to walk away from our old crowd and step into new, but I think it takes a very strong person to be able to stay in the same crowd, because it's been so easy for you to get hooked up on the bad habits in that crowd. So sometimes the best thing is to just stay away, especially for a time until you've grown personally and that you can actually say no, or I just can't be involved with this, or can't be involved with that. And there's so many examples we could go and tell you about. Me and Earl this morning, we had the luxury, or we were blessed to be able to go and provide a much needed item to a local girls' home. What's the name of that? The girls' group, Earl?
Light of Hope.
Light of Hope. It's in Gulfport, Mississippi. They're brand new, folks. If you would pray for them, man. Their house is a girl that's gone through recovery and continuous through recovery. She just hadn't stopped. But she is helping provide for other young ladies as they're going through the court system, coming out of incarceration, if you will, and trying to get a step back in life, similar to, you might see those type of programs, might be, with big groups and stuff like that. This is one young lady trying to help others out, trying to pay back. She's gotten a little bit, trying to pay a little bit back, and helping bring others to cleanness, if you will, but to bring them to the Lord. It's a wonderful, wonderful things. We're going to have her on the show here at a future date. The sooner the better, I believe, for her organization, her group, her home, to be able to share that, and hopefully other people might mimic the same thing in other states. While she's not wanting to stop at this one home, she's on fire for it. But that's the way to do it. And she's got these people together, but they're accountable to each other, which is that beautiful thing that we were just talking about. Earl, I'm going to put our steps up there again, because we practice these steps, okay? And we practice them, and what you going to say, we memorize them, but we come like step 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. Man, it takes that. It takes being able to do that, so we can truly, make that step, knowing we can't do it by ourselves. We talked about getting that accountability part and somebody be with you. But that step right there, just knowing that we can't do it ourselves, and know who we can rely on to see us through our troubles. And this is the Creator anyway, folks. We make a decision to turn our lives and our wheels over to the care of God. And it's biblical, okay? I mean, it's what is supposed to happen. And we do that, and then we share this type of stuff with other people also. But we made the decision to turn our lives and our wheels over to the care of God. And man, the Bible verse, Romans 12:1, therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. And man, once you do that, if you do this part so honestly, being honest with yourself, even if you're still in that point of you don't know about the problem, and hey, it's still just causing heartache. It's causing, maybe you're having withdrawals from something. This right here can provide that maybe a little relief, that knowing, hey man, I'm turning my life, my will over to the care of God. And it's not saying everything's going to be perfect right after that, because there's spiritual warfare. But the good thing is we know that we're taking the right steps. Okay, Earl, we had talked about also, me and you and another guy, we've talked about really delving into this next step where we make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Folks, write things down. Write things down that are bothering you. Talk to them, to your accountability partner. Talk about it might be whether you're going to different groups, doing that. But even on your own time, make notes, and talk about an honest and fearless moral inventory of yourselves.
Well, I think you got to really, really do step 3 and know that you're turning it over to God before you get into step 4, because step 4, you start digging up some things, that hurt. They just do.
Might be really tough, huh?
But if you've turned it over to God, then it's going to be okay. God's going to make it okay. So you bring it up, you deal with it, and you don't forget it, but you put it behind you. But God will bring you through it if you really turn your life over to Him. Then, and I'm working on step 4, as he just said, and it is a difficult one, because you're bringing up all the stuff that you've tried so hard just to just put it out of your mind. It's over in the past, and you can't do that because it just in there and eats at you somewhere deep in there. So getting it up and bringing it out and talking about it with your sponsor, your accountability partner, praying about it. That's the thing that I'm having to do, because I've spent so long kind of just not dealing with those things that that's gotten easy, not maybe healthy, but easy. So I pray to God to, bring those things back up. So give me the strength to talk about them and to deal with them and then move past them the right way.
Right. And I believe by opening up and being honest with yourself, like you say, that's going to make that relationship you took in step 3 even that much stronger. As we really study ourselves, we learn more about ourselves, and through these and being able to apologize to other people we may have hurt, which those steps are included later on. But it's not something you just stop. You start over. You might find one problem that you're really working on strongly. But I tell you what, if you continuously do step 4, there's always going to be something. Oh, wait, I forgot, Red. Yeah, you know how you do this or do that? Maybe that's not just quite that right. And we need to work a little bit harder on this. Where it's going to get down. It's going to help you get down to what your major problem is, and just help you to be perfect. Not perfect, but close to perfect. As close to perfect as we can be. Well, I know we, like me and Tolbert, that's our guest from last week, Tolbert Prather, we were talking about, we know one perfect being, and that was it. And that's who laid his life down on the cross to save us from our sins. And that's Jesus Christ. And that's, I tell you what, you can't go wrong once you start living life the way we're supposed to do it, according to the Bible, according to the Word. And it's where it's at. It's where it's at. I'm convinced. You say, well, that's convinced. There's a lot of people convinced this stuff's going on and on. Okay. And let me throw in real quick that Celebrate Recovery, some of these things that we're talking about, like this is not a Celebrate Recovery podcast. Okay. But I am that leader, one of those leaders at First Baptist Church, Biloxi. And I'm one of the male leaders, obviously, but and that's how I know Earl here. And this is how we can talk more about our program that we're doing and more about these steps, because Celebrate Recovery is who's made it available to us, and we are part of that group. Okay. And I'm not saying you have to. I mentioned that app and stuff like that earlier of Military Broadcast Radio. There's also a Celebrate Recovery app. You can download it on your iPhone or your Android, or get on the Google or whatever your search engine is and Celebrate Recovery. It comes up on the web. You can do that. It's got tons of informative and resourceful information in both the app, by chance. It has copies of the steps, the principles. It also has a copy of the Serenity Prayer, which we were able to share with one of our friends the other night that did not realize it. It's also got here, a big thing is you can look in there and you can tag in your location, and it'll tell you the closest Celebrate Recovery meetings and when they meet, how often they meet, right there in front of you. Okay, so you can get plugged in. Now, not to just talk about Celebrate Recovery, you got Alcoholics Anonymous, okay, Narcotics Anonymous, Al-Anon. Man, the list goes on and on. Recovery resources, help programs to help you get out of these things that are just dragging us down, regardless of what the hurt, habit, or hang up is. Could be alcoholism, could be addiction, could be mental or physical limitations that are just holding you back. Well, get in there. Let's talk about it. Find things you can do to help out. And look, I don't think anybody has a problem that isn't also a problem of another person. Absolutely. You know, we're all in this love together, as I like to say. Now, Earl might not have some of the same difficulties in areas that I have, and vice versa, but there might be ways that I could help some of those areas I have the difficulty in just by talking to Earl and confiding in him about it, you know, and that's what makes things better. That's also the good thing about having an accountability partner and being vocal, not just keeping things bottled up inside us. Earl, we're getting down close, boy. We're inside the 10 minutes, or actually inside the 8 minutes. We got 7 minutes and something left on the entire show. Is there something you would really like to share right now? It's open. It's open floor. Whether it's something that you're just thankful for, whether something you anything. What you got?
Well, I'd like to say that that's one of the greatest things about Celebrate Recovery. It's for everybody. You know, it don't matter what kind of hurt, habit, or hang up you got. If you come to one of them meetings, you're going to find somebody there, and you'll realize that you're not the only one with that kind of problem. And it's just an awesome community to be a part of. I encourage everybody to go at least check one out. You know, just show up to one, sit in the back row and listen for one time. And a good possibility you'll come back, because it's awesome. It's very spiritual. You know, it's an awesome group of people. And I'm thankful for it. That's one of the biggest things I'm thankful for, you know, is finding that recovery program that I can really fit in with some people. So.
Right on. Hey, and I'll say ditto to that. I'm very thankful for that. That's because of my veterans type time and service is what got me associated with this right here. But here's the cool thing. Look, this is a place, like you said, and you're gonna relate to somebody, okay? And what I call our group is Thursday night church.
Thursday night church.
So you got chances to go to church every day of the week, in a sense, because the church is the people. It's not the building. Our pastor, Brother Smokey Gibson, shares that at First Baptist in Biloxi. If you're in the Biloxi area, come visit our church. Got a lot of good things going on, okay? Now, talking about that, about relating something else and how good it is to be part of a group, man, just having another shoulder to lean on. Or I'm not talking about going, hey, let me lean on, you know, or go lean on this way, not leaning on your shoulder, but that person to lean on, person to confide in, the person to share with is so important towards recovery. And it might not just be on your recovery, but the recovery of the person you're being accountable with. Okay. Because that's, it goes we're all in it for each other. Okay. And we got to help each other. That's like I said, with the perfect person needs to slide on in, because there's no keeping secrets. You can't keep secrets. That's being selfish. Now we done found something you ain't perfect with. Okay. So I'm going to have to step out of denial for selfishness. But now all kidding aside, this is when you do these things like Celebrate Recovery was started in the 90s out in California. And like I said, I believe it was the mid 90s that they started up. and the millions of people that have been able to find recovery, find solace, being able to see that hope that is out there, and that it is blossomed into other groups. Okay, and we've had some of those groups right here on the Freedom from Struggle show. We excuse me. We plan on bringing a lot more on here with us in the future. So that's a beautiful thing, church. But get plugged into your church. That helps a lot. Like I mentioned before, you can always comment. You can message Freedom from Struggle, message MBR Radio, MBR Talk. There's so many different people. I see a little comment from Matthew Maverick. He's got a show on another network now, I guess, and which is very good. But check everything out. Check them out. Check us out. And we love this opportunity. Okay, Earl, I'm serious. And I appreciate you, because today, by you getting in here talking, you're not just, I think it helps yourself. I think it helps ourselves. But man, you don't know how many people that perhaps might see this, and if somebody's not making a change, it can still be planting that seed for somebody. It can be planting a seed, just like I've asked people to share. If somebody shares it, that the more shared, it just keeps going on and on and on, right? It just, man, it's amazing. And when I say that, that's what makes things go viral. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, we're here to share the word of Jesus Christ. And when he's done something like brought me through the recovery process like this, I want to share it. I don't want to be selfish about that. I want to get that out there.
Hey, Earl, when you say that, you want to get the word out there. I don't know. Look, this is almost, we could start it. You know how they have those, these big, like marathons or all this kind of stuff. So we go into a big marathon right now here where we're trying to raise money, for this or raise money for that. But that's not what we're doing, folks. What we're doing is wanting to, and I'm part of the Broken Chains. Earl, you joined the Broken Chains also, or at least downloaded or joined it on Facebook.
No, sir. I don't really Facebook, but I'm going to.
Okay. All right. This is going to be one of my brothers right here. And listen, I've made so many friends with this Broken Chains group for Jesus Christ. And it's, man, they're all brothers and sisters in Christ. And they've been through recovery. And it's just an amazing thing how these folks are able to come together. And I'm talking about, this is nationwide. You know that song, ZZ Top? And we're nationwide. Boom, 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 boom. I started to bring my guitar in here. I got my new mixer and everything, got my sporty doty mic, all happy about that. But with that, we could share by us sharing and by someone else sharing that, hey, you need to check these guys out, not checking me out, not just checking Earl out, but checking these folks that are talking about recovery out. Check these folks out that really are serious. You're serious, right, Earl?
Yes, sir. 100%.
I'm serious. Hey, have you got a few more minutes we can stay on here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I ain't got no place to go. That's where I was saying we're going to take it on a marathon. Okay. We're going to have the 24-hour marathon. See how long we can go. All right. No, we'll just keep it going on and on and on. And hopefully some other podcasters are going to come in here and take over. Just keep on going. And you won't even have to tune in next Saturday because you'll already be here. We're on next Saturday at 3:00. We're on here 3:00 Central. We air till 4:00. And look, we're always looking for new visitors to join and just listen to the show, to share the show, but to ask to come on the show. Okay. And I want to throw this out here real quick, Earl, too. If you, I know people have prayer requests. People want to they want to be they want to say something, but they don't want to throw it out there in public. If you have any prayer requests, you see this little banner that's scrolling down at the bottom, and I'll say what the email is. Red, that's the color red, at MB Mike Bravo, MB ADI our radio, MB radio, red at mbradio.com. Listen, ask me to pray for you. I'll pray for you. And I'm talking about daily. And there'll be some other people that'll join me in prayer too. You can leave the name out of it. It doesn't matter. That's a big thing and a lovely, glorious thing they do with these recovery programs. It's based on anonymity. Oh, look, I made a big mistake, folks. Rewind. Red at mbradio.us. mbradio.us. Yeah, the U.S. for the United States. But mbradio.us. Check us out, man. MB Radio, MBR Talk, MBR Radio. The app I mentioned. The app, remember I mentioned on your Android or iPhone? Download MBRs for Military Broadcast Radio is what it stands for. And we've got a lot of great programs that are on. Earl, I don't know if you've had the chance to listen to it. This might be your first time you really even realized there was such a station, okay?
Yes.
But look, we're out there. We're trying to give veterans a voice, trying to recruit other veterans to come in. And listen, and let me say, this is not, like I said, this show right here itself, and most all of the other shows are on certain topics, whether it might be sports, so many numerous things, and music, fishing. They had a show on fishing yesterday. Hey, I didn't mention the Just Go Travel Show, which I have that airs on Mondays at 6:00 p.m. Central Time. That is a great show, if I should say so myself. You can find out some great travel deals, but that's one of the sponsors here. That's another show that I'm part of, which is it's just a platform for me to get out there and tell more, provide deals to military. But it's not just for military. Even the travel show is for everyone. It's for the general population. And really for worldwide, it doesn't matter. And a lot of our shows within Military Broadcast Radio, from my understanding, gets out to Europe and Asia and things like that, which that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so think about this platform, Earl, that we got right here, that we're able to talk about recovery. I talked about the broken chains, slinging a little hope. We're slinging hope out there, slinging some messages. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Look, that's a glorious thing. It's a blessing for me to be able to do that, to be able to be a part of somebody doing that. And then there's so many other things we do. Look, Earl, I was asking if you had any time to hang on here. What else you want to share? Anything else? Yeah, I mean, anything. What got you here? What got you to celebrate recovery? Just anything you're comfortable with sharing. This, like I said, folks, Celebrate Recovery, these different 12-step programs, it's based on anonymity, okay? Obviously, myself, Red Kent, if you will, a name given to me by my parents, is a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I have no problem sharing most all of my problems. Okay, there may be some that I might still just be working on with my sponsor and with my Lord above. Okay, but it's a judgment-free zone, much like Planet Fitness. I don't know if you've heard of Planet Fitness, but down here we have Planet Fitness in the South, and it's a judgment-free zone. Nobody's going to sit there and make a fun about me on how little I can do muscular, how much I can bench press or anything. They're not going to make fun of me. It's a no judgment zone. We're also a no judgment zone. It's based on anonymity. Some people have to come to the meetings, and we're thankful that the municipal system, the court system, actually allows us to be one of those places that can come and attest to someone being there for a certain amount of time so they can get credit for in a recovery program or a whatever, whether it's faith-based or whatever, that they're able to be a part of it, if you will. Earl, what you got for us, brother?
Well, that's actually what brought me there is intervention court. And it does bring hope. I mean, I can give a testimony right now if we got time for it.
Well, we got time to hear whatever you got to say for now. Like I said, remember I told you it's going on a marathon, right?
Well, my struggle started at a very young age. You know, I started drinking probably 10 or 11 years old. I started doing drugs when I was 14, hard drugs. And, you know, I spent my whole life, I wasn't raised in a home that was believing in God. I didn't believe in God my whole life. Right up until November 15th of 2021, when I went to jail again. I'd done been to prison once, and I was on my way back to prison. And then I've told you this, I didn't know what else to do. I broke down in a jail cell and started praying to a God that I'd never believed in to just deliver me from this addiction. And since that day, I've not had a single urge to use the drugs. You know, I did drink a little bit more after that, but I've been now clean almost 10 months now from alcohol. I've been off drugs for a little over 2 years, almost 2 years, excuse me. And God delivered me from it, man. And I got, I went to court and they offered me probation for the charge that I was on. And I had prayed to God before I went in there. I don't know what to say. He put the words in my mouth and they offered me probation. And I said, man, do you think I can get on intervention court? And my lawyer was like, what? I said, as an accountability thing. So,
okay.
Yeah, they put me on intervention court, and I found out about the Celebrate Recovery because I didn't want to really go to a AA or an NA kind of thing. It works for a lot of people, but I wanted something that was faith-based, something, because that's what brought me through my struggles, was God. And I came down there to First Baptist of Biloxi and met you fellas, and man, it's been awesome. So
that's how you got to us, huh?
That's how I got there.
Well, listen, that's quite a story on, especially to hear you you sit there praying to a God that you'd never believed in. Obviously you'd heard of him or something. Perhaps a seed may have been planted in one way or another.
Somewhere, somebody told me something. And, I was.
Hey, Earl, real quick. We're just like a football game. I got timeout on the offensive team on the host time. That would be me. Host calling a timeout for station identification and to share a little bit. I know you're sitting there on the 34-yard line. You're ready to kick that field goal, to win the game or to put us into overtime. But look here, I'm trying to freeze you. I'm going to freeze you for just a minute so we can get a word from our sponsors. Everybody stand by. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Introducing J&J Beard Co., your go-to destination for high-quality handmade and natural beard products. Our family-owned business, based in New Jersey, prides itself on using the finest ingredients to bring you premium products that will elevate your grooming routine. Each product is carefully crafted with love and expertise, ensuring that you get the best care for your beard. Treat yourself to the luxury of J&J Beard Co. and experience the difference that true quality and craftsmanship can make for your beard. Join the J&J Beard Co. family today and unleash the full potential of your facial hair with our exceptional products. Find them on the web at jjbeardco.com. That's jjbeardco.com.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, Earl, I don't want you to blame that on me, okay? That really wasn't a timeout by the host. That was an official's timeout, okay? I mean, they're pulling for us, the home team, okay? So they're willing to freeze you a little bit. But no, that was that official's timeout. Had to get a little word in from the sponsor. I'm wondering if I'm gonna grow my beard out a little bit more. I mean, this is 59-year-old hair growing. You know what I mean? I wonder if that stuff will work for a 59-year-old JJ and Beard Company. I bet it will. Might have to try it out. Maybe a good what got coming up? Oh, I got my birthday coming up next. And so maybe I can get some of that JJ and Beard Company. My wife might turn me on to it, you know. Okay, I froze you. You ready to keep on saying what I stopped you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. There was, I think I was thinking about it during the break. I think I was actually working the steps before I even knew what they was. I realized that what I was doing, what Earl was doing, was not working. I had to turn to somebody, it was unmanageable. I had to turn it over to somebody else. And obviously along the line, I'm almost 40 years old next month. And along the time of my life, I'd heard about God, but I just, I was that one person. I'm a good person. I don't need that. I don't need that. But in reality, I was wrong. Everything Earl was doing had wound me right back up in jail, on my way to prison for the second time. And all I knew to do, and I don't even know how I knew it, God came down and touched me, and I really can't even explain it. It's been a couple of years now, and I really can't explain what happened that night. I can explain what's happened since then, but the feeling that made me turn to a God that I had never believed in, I don't know, but it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, for sure.
Right. Well, look, that's good stuff. I mean, that's kind of what that's really kind of what it's about. You know what I mean? Hey, I'll tell you, man, I was one of those, what do you call it? 5-card poker on Saturday night, church on Sunday morning type of guys. Okay. And I probably, while I was doing that 5-card poker, I might've been partaking of adult beverages and things, which was not a good thing. So in all essence, I wasn't doing no harm to anybody. I was a good person. I was doing this and doing that. But boy, when that night came, that last Saturday night came, and I got rid of the bottle, that was really a big turning point in my life. And it got me a lot more aware of what was going on with my life. And I did attend AA meetings, and I was made to. I was made to by folks in my chain of command. I was active duty, and I got a little bit out of that. I'll say it helped, but at that time, there might have been a lot of people that didn't want to hear, about God being their higher power with the group I was with, but he was definitely mine. Okay. So I didn't need another meeting, but those meetings helped me stay accountable. Okay. And it helped me go from the one day to the second day, and then might have missed a meeting for a couple of days because they didn't have one. And it had me somewhere to be with people that were in the similar situation I was in. And it really helped me. Okay. It really helped me. Fortunately, I was not incarcerated or locked up or anything during my life. As a matter of fact, the only time that I've been in a prison, I think I might have gone in a prison like when I was younger, like in Boy Scouts or through a church group or something, a group of guys, or maybe even school. Maybe the school we went to visit the local jail to see what see what it was about, learning about careers or something. Maybe not careers. I don't know, but learning about our fine, Meridian. I was in Meridian, Mississippi, Meridian's finest. Just learn about what the policemen do there. But I tell you what, so I did go to one there, but I don't remember seeing anybody that was actually locked up. Okay. But I will say I was a Gideon for quite a while before I got into ministry full, as a bivocational type. I got in there, and I did go to a prison, and we were carrying Gideon Bibles with us. And so we were able to provide some Gideon Bibles to people. And one other time, I just recall. Now, I promise I have these things coming up. This is doing that searches, that moral inventory of ourselves, finding out some things we've done. Okay, I actually went with a group from my church. We went and we shared. It's part of our prison ministry, okay. But a lot of the members that went on this particular one was from my church, and we went and provided the Last Supper, the Lord's Supper, to prisoners that were incarcerated here in our county, in Harrison County, Mississippi. And we went in there, man, and I tell you what, it was kind of, it's a little unnerving first going in there, but when you got in there, it's like, man, it's just other guys just like us, and these guys, truthfully, there was ones that were incarcerated for some really serious things, and then there was one that was he was in there for multiple DUIs. But the one thing in common, everybody that was in there was genuine, talking with each other. Because we talked, we were talking with each other individually, just like I'm talking with you right now, and loud enough where the other people in the jail cells, that area, that I think we were in a common area of a particular section or something like that. We by no means went through the whole prison, but we were in there having prayer, talking to those guys giving, themselves, somebody talking, man, I wish I never would have done this, or, this has changed my life here. We're very thankful that y'all have come in to do this with us. And man, I don't know if it helped them. No,
I can assure you it did. I've been there. Prison ministry is one of the things that I really want to kind of get into, because it brings a lot of hope to people that don't have hope otherwise.
Right.
And speaking of Harrison County, they have one of the best programs called the LLP, the Life Learning Program. It's a Bible-based program but it's life skills, but it's all biblically based, and it's an awesome program. I'd like to really figure out how to get more involved in that, because they help me a lot. But anybody that takes time out of their day and comes to a prison to do ministry helps them guys out a lot.
So you're saying it's very worthwhile. And I wasn't doing it. What I was getting at, and I mean, I know you could sit there and assure me that they were getting something out of it, but when I went, I was like, I don't know who got the most out of this visit. I don't know if it was these guys that are in being locked up, or if it was actually me.
Yeah.
And being so thankful not to be in a situation like that, but realizing areas where, maybe it could have, if you did a little, I guess went a little further, you could very well end up like that.
Very quickly, a couple bad decisions.
Yeah, I know for some people it kind of can be a bad stroke of luck, bad break. Some people have really deserved being there, and I know that. And
I was one of them. I've accepted that. With like that last time I went, me and God went through it together, and it was a lot different. There wasn't none of that finger pointing and blaming the system and blaming the officers and blaming everybody except the guy who was actually to blame for it, and but me and God went through it the whole time, and it was a lot different experience than the first time I went.
Well, man, I think a lot of you, and I'm thankful, and hey, through your incarceration or whatever, we've come into contact with each other. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and here we are right now. You and I, we're sitting here on a military broadcast radio social media platform, and we're playing out to Roku, to Amazon Fire Stick, and to all kinds of social media platforms and outlets. I can't even say all of them. I can see several of them up here at the top of my screen. But look, we're on there. I know we got popped off of a couple of them, probably because the show has gone too long. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Hey, I'm happy. I'm thrilled. We just gone. Well, we didn't have a show immediately following us. A lot of times when we do podcasts, we might have a show immediate following, and instead of racing to get out of the studio to make way for them, we're able to just keep on going. Granted, we're not all in the same place. You and I are even in different places. But hey, look, we're able to be here. To me, that is an amazing thing. Okay. from different walks, two guys right here, different walks of life, but walking on the same green earth. And now we're sitting here on a platform able to share with others what we've found in recovery. Look, I want to throw up there on the other thing and see this. We talked about the meta searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. But look, man, when you get into step 5, we admit to God. Okay, this is where you got to have that accountability partner. You can't be keeping this inside you. Okay. But, and it's not just between, it is between you and God, but in step 5, we admit to God, to ourselves, and like we talked a little bit already, to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. And look, when we can do that, hey, I think it's one thing to admit, to say, oh, I'm sorry I did that. I'm going to do better next time. And nobody else is hearing you except God. And maybe you forget that you said that, or keep begging for. You always hear, hey, you do this. You go ahead and do it. You beg for forgiveness later. That's not always the best thing, because here, Earl, the last time, and I'll say this, and I'm thankful. I'm really very thankful that I would say my most serious problem I had was the drinking. Okay. At least as far as I know, it could be the snuff. I could be doing more damage on the snuff right now because I'm through drinking. But look, I'm drinking, and I'll use drinking as this. I'll do something that's mind altering, if you will. Okay. If you are able to have that, to say, hey, that's my last drink. And that's what I did that night. I tossed the bottles. That's my last drink. And to be able to do that and walk away from it, okay, is really great. Now, the reason I say this, that was my last drink. Okay. And right now, hey, that was the last drink. That was the last time I drank. But I'm saying the last drink. And the reason I say it was the last drink is because I don't know if I have another drink, if I'll, how that last drink might end. It could end right after the first sip. It could end right after the first drink. You can put this with whatever other problems you got, whether it's smoking, whether it's dipping, whether it's using drugs or of some type, whether it's intravenously or just taking pills or whatever. I know that's such a horrible thing that people experience. I don't know about it, but why not? Even if you have it at this point, you happen to be listening to this show, whether it's on Saturday afternoon, the 17th of August, I almost forgot what month it is, at 4:25 Central Time, or if it's Eastern, Mountain, Pacific, it doesn't matter. What if that beer you just drank, that cigarettes you just smoked, or that bad word you just said, what if that was the last one? That could be your last one. Put it behind you, not ever do it again. If you open the next, and this is not to be scary or to scare somebody, but it's truth. It's truth. What if that next beer you have is the last beer, is the last one, because you ain't able to take another drink of it, or you're not able to? Huh? What do you say about that, Earl?
It ain't got to be alcohol or drugs or any of that. I heard somebody a long time ago say sin is going to take you farther than you want to go, make you stay longer than you want to stay, and cost you more than you want to pay.
Dude, wait a minute. Say that again.
Sin is going to take you farther than you want to go, make you stay longer than you want to stay, and cost you more than you want to pay. It don't matter what the sin is. It don't matter if it's drinking or drugs or anything, sin is going to cost you more than you want to pay.
Hey, listen, I have heard that before, and let me ask that: how true is that?
100%.
Okay, so
like you said, if you take you for example, if you decided, well, maybe I'll just have one drink today. I ain't had one in a long time. I'll just have one for whatever. That could be a first step in a long, long down, or it could be the last
and
step.
It could be an immediate down spiral, or it could be the start of a down spiral.
You just don't want to take the chance.
But I tell you what, if you made that last one, well, look, let's let that not be a further problem for me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like I said, but through God's grace, I've been able to remain sober. I don't take the credit for it. I know I have a lot to do with it, but I'm not the full credit. You know what I mean? Because it's because it's God. It's because of reaching out to Him and knowing that I cannot do it. I just cannot do it.
Through grace and mercy, God will bring us through it.
But I love what you said, and so now you brought that out. It's not just an alcohol or a drug or any type of problem like this. Now we're saying it's sin. You know what I mean? And oh my goodness, we biblically talk, we got the 10 Commandments, okay? And then there's a lot of other directions that we're supposed to take within the Bible, within Genesis, between the first of Genesis and the last of Revelation. There's a lot of things that we're told not to do, things to do. Okay. And a lot, you say, man, we can't do anything. Man, if I can't do this, can't do that. Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of things you can do.
Absolutely. Well, see, that was part of my thing whenever I was, before I came into a relationship with Jesus, that was part of it. Well, y'all just got too many rules. I just want to live life my way, and I don't want to give up all this and all that. But when you finally do come to God and give it all up, it gets replaced with stuff so much better. No, you can't.
Ain't that the truth?
You're not supposed to be out there drinking and running wild, but there's so much. Go to church with your friends. You just be surprised. God will fill those holes with something much better.
You could be like us Southern Baptists. You go to church together with a friend and take off and go to lunch with them afterwards.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
There's always a good meal down the street you can do and talk about the service,
Yeah, there's always. God's going to fill the holes of the things that, if you'll turn away from sin, we're all born into a sinful nature. It's just the way it is. But if you'll turn to God and start knocking those sins off, having Him just chisel away at them, you'll be filled. The Holy Spirit will fill the empty voids. I promise.
Yeah, be knocking that bad dog off that ankle. You know what I mean?
Yes,
knock that thing off. Don't be doing that. Stay away from me. And but when we talk about sin, and that's the bottom line. I mean, and I know that some people can partake of a glass of wine here or there, but and they do with their meals. I know they've done that. Everybody can't do that. I, for one, cannot do that. And this is some things you got to put away, put beside you, and understand and realize that that's not me. That's not of the Lord. It's not for me. And when we talk about that, I say there's so many things we can't do, but there are so many things we're supposed to do, which I believe, I would like to believe me and you are doing pretty good right here by we're sharing, okay? It tells us that we're supposed to share, all right? And not only share, but we were supposed to leave good lives, and we're supposed to be not just doing good, Earl. That's not what I'm talking about. Like you said before, hey, I'm being good, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Or look, hey, man, I might be doing this a little bit, but man, I ain't doing half as bad as my brother's doing, or my buddy down the street. You ought to see him. Look, that ain't who you being graded against.
Oh,
you
those are lies from the devil.
Yeah, exactly. The good from the bad. And oh my goodness. So it is a blessing. Look, we're 1:30. We got to take another break, folks. Stay with us. This is Red Skelton, and we got my good buddy Earl, my brother in Christ, and we'll be right back with you, folks. So just stand by. Give me just a second. Stand by, because I'm playing this next little thing that I didn't even know if I was even going to have time to do. But here we go. We'll be back to you in just a few moments on Military Broadcast Radio, Freedom from Struggle at Red's Round Table.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through a crowd. God make fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice, 'cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And welcome back to the Freedom from Struggle of Red's Roundtable with your host, Red, and our guest of the week, Earl. And man, we're glad you're back in here joining us for our 24-hour marathon. I'm just kidding. Don't stop watching just because I said 24 hours. Okay. It's just we've extended our program a little bit today. And I would like to, Earl, if you don't mind, try to run it for another about 20 minutes, 24 minutes to get to the top of the next hour, regardless of where you are here in our time zone. It'll be 5 o'clock Central. But anyway, folks, if you keep on hanging in there with us, we welcome any comments you got. We welcome emails if you'd like to help support the Freedom from Struggle show, our military broadcast radio. Send me a message, Red, R-E-D, at mbradio.us. And we'd really appreciate it. Earl, where were we at? You remember?
No, sir, I don't.
Well, I tell you one thing we were at. We were listening to a little video about going somewhere, and that's an up and coming artist right there. And she's been played on a lot of our different podcasts we've been doing. And I also would like to mention, and I could not find it in my selection here. It must be under the stack, if you will, but the Lady of Liberty Foundation. And my buddy Big Grizz is part of that, and Larry and Noel. And look, if y'all can always check them out, Lady of Liberty, and they're great. They're a great group. I've been able to watch some of their fundraiser type things, or their way they honor, if you will, veterans, first responders, which, like I mentioned before, military broadcast radio, that's who we're for. We're for the military folks. We're for veterans. We're for patriots, okay? We're families of veterans, families of patriots, first responders, and actually Americans or anybody else that's on this great green earth, that'd like to join us. And we appreciate each and every one of you that join us. And we ask that you share our programs with others and come back to join us on our next times. Next week, Freedom for Struggle will be back on the air at 3 o'clock Central, and we'll be looking for you. If you cannot be there at the time of the show, you can always catch the rewinds on your favorite social media, including Spotify. So thanks again for being with us. I know that we were actually talking about some of those little things that might cause us problems, and we kind of said that being good and bad, not from not doing things that are wrong, but doing things that are good, doing the things we're supposed to do. And there's so many of those. And if you don't know them, where are you going to learn them? Okay. Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of congregations that meet on Sundays, happen to meet on Sunday mornings in your neighborhood, somewhere close by. Plug yourself into one of them. You'll meet some good people. It's just it's a whole community. Okay, it's a new community. It's a great group of people to be with, and they ain't a single one of them in there perfect. Okay, the one watching over them is perfect, but the from the pastors, for the people that help do the maintenance in those buildings. Okay, we're known to as churches and places of worship. Nobody's perfect except the one above us all. Look, we admitted to our God. I think we said step 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. And that right there in a nutshell is huge, okay? Because until you admit it to you, your problem, in you can't keep it to yourself. You got to share it with somebody else. You got to you got to make it known to others so they realize that you're also trying to do that. I almost told somebody I gained a little bit too much weight, and they said, "No kidding." No, I'm just playing. I have, and I'm trying to take steps to drop some of it off. I don't want to drop off, but about 50 or 60 pounds. I don't want to blow away when the wind gets over 10, 15 miles per hour. But look, we're talking about the coach, not just me trying to be funny and being on PR2 idiots with a mic. They'd have got me on there, that'd have been the third one. Okay, luckily I'm over here right now. Step 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all the of character. Now that, my friends and brothers and sisters, is really pretty darn important, if you ask me. Because if we're not ready to have anything taken away, those bad things taken away, do you think there's much hope in them being taken away, Earl?
No, sir. But that right there, I was kind of wanting to say something about that song that just played, and that kind of ties into it. That God turned all my mistakes to miracles. That's turn it over to God and humble. Right there, it says, "Humble yourself before the Lord, and He will lift you up." James 4:30.
4:30. James 4:30. Hey, we're entirely ready to have our God remove all these defects of characters. And you said from James 4:10, humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. Well, yeah, but you said the right thing. You know what I mean? But listen, once we're ready for Him we're ready for Him to work in our lives. Believe me, He'll work in our lives. Okay. And you can't beat that. I mean, you can't beat that with a stick. Okay. And if the Lord's doing something in your life, man, what you got it going on. Okay. And if we open up our lives enough for something to be, like something good, you really think something good could come from me? You think something good can come from you, Earl?
I know I can. God.
Yeah, not with just me, not with just Earl, but
not
with him through us.
And he'll miracles. You know my story. I was, like I said, 2 years ago, I didn't even believe in God. Now He's giving me blessings after blessings in my life, in my business, in my family. It's just, man, it's awesome. It really is.
Listen, you mentioned that song, man. We had a great song last week we played during our podcast, and with Tolbert Prather and his buddy, gosh dog it, I can't remember his name right now. Man, I wish I was really good, folks, with all the little behind the scenes work in here. I could pull that video up real quick, but it was a video about rap and hip hop, but blessing after blessing, and they keep coming back. And that's the truth, man. Blessing after blessing, and they keep coming back. You have a blessing. If you have a blessing to yourself, don't. I mean, you got to tell you, oh man, I love that. Thank you so much. But man, do everything in your power to return that to somebody else, or not to return, to pass it along to somebody else. Okay, now that's what's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, sir. For God's glory.
for the glory of God. That's right. And that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Now I know this. Hey, I don't want to run anybody off. I mean, some of this stuff, it might not be your actual cup of tea, but I tell you what, if you give it a chance, you can definitely improve your life. And if you can improve your life, that improves the next person's life, your child's life, your spouse's life, your pet's life. But it improves others' lives, and it just makes the world even brighter that you're in it and you're doing things that are right. The Freedom from Struggle show, like I said before, we kind of gear on a lot of these 12 steps and the faith-based or the verse biblical comparisons that go along with those steps. We also have principles, and one of these shows here in the future will bring the principles back. But folks, I've given you the email address. You can always comment on one of the social media platforms that one of us with Military Broadcast Radio will see it, and they'll let me know, and that way I can make it broadcast on my show. Of course, they'll also broadcast it on there. I mentioned Big Grizz. He's got a show going on Facebook. Y'all ought to check him out. Look at MBR Talk Facebook. You'll see exactly when his show airs. I'm not positive. Also, the Tracer Rounds podcast, they just said hello to us also here. They're all on Military Broadcast Radio. I want to mention my show along with my wife. It's my show, but it's based on a lot of her. You know, we have a veteran-owned and woman-owned businesses, Just Go Travel. We have a travel show that airs on Mondays, if you will, at 3:00. No. Freedom from Struggles at 3:00. Thank you, Earl. You're hired, brother. You are hired. Okay, 6:00 on Monday night, 6:00 Central. Monday nights, Just Go Travel Show with Red, your host. All right, look, we're here at Freedom from Struggle. If anybody has any comments or anything, please put them in the comments. You can also text us. I'll throw my number out there real quick, just in case you're listening and you want to send me a text, 228-365-1012. That's 228-365-1012. Anyway, you're welcome to give me send me something there, and I would try to get back to you. I've already mentioned the prayer request, that type of stuff. You can always send me something there. Earl, did you say something?
No, sir.
No, okay, all right. I thought you might have said something like, "Say, hey, whoa, shush, guy, let me get a word in here." Well, what else you got to share? I mean, we've talked about a lot of things today. Pretty deep, longer than our Celebrate Recovery meeting, even.
Yes, sir. But hey, I love it.
Slinging some hope. Hey, I assume you got the air conditioner going over there.
Yes, sir. It's
okay. I'm in my little studio right here. This is what I usually use a screen, a red MBR type screen on there. Today I'm just using the wall behind me. This is just how it is. This is what's really going on behind the scenes. And this is us. And it's nice and cool in here, thankfully. And you got to appreciate those heating and air, folks. But I tell you what, you got to love it. Okay. And I know a lot of people out there burning up. A lot of people don't have it as good as we do. If everybody just remember those folks in your prayers, and share some hope with them, and maybe it can get better. Maybe they can figure out what some options that they can take to improve on their livelihoods also. And it could be some of these problems we talk about that these hurts, habits, and hangups. Unfortunately, it's not everybody. I know that, probably not even half. But it does, these hurts, habits, and hangups, addictions, alcoholism, issues that we talk about a lot of times can reflect in the way we might be experiencing things, whether, I'm not going to just say financially, but some of the things that we're living with or carrying as baggage. And it's just something I believe we can, I know, I know it's not. It doesn't. It's not a one step, and everything changes. Hey, I noticed that Sonic cup you got right there. That's pretty cool. Myself too. I would love for Sonic to start sponsoring our show. Sonic. I drink a Sonic. Well, okay, probably every day, all day, regardless of what I'm doing. I got a Sonic.
I don't know.
Man.
I don't know if I've ever seen you without a Sonic cup. So
I would assume I'm in profit sharing with Sonic, but I'm not. But yeah, I benefit from their fine ice and their fine drink selection. Okay, as long as it doesn't have sugar in it, I'm off the sugar. So, look, I tell you, with this, I was thinking of another area in my life, and we talked about a lot of the things like the addictions. Well, we mentioned sin and stuff like that, so that's not a something you can just grab hold of. Obviously, that's a whole. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say the word. I'm not going to try to fool everybody and say, but it's not a thing that we can grab hold of, but we can understand in our minds and in our hearts. And what I was thinking was like the anxiety and depression. We learn these things, and I believe through Celebrate Recovery, we're understanding ourselves. Maybe we can find, and I know, listen, I've been through some counseling sessions with some actual medical workers, and I know that you can, when you look back and you really start opening up with things, that have happened in your lives, what things you've experienced, the ways you might think about certain subjects or certain things that have happened in your life, or certain things that are happening around you, and they might cause these problems, whether, like I said, whether it's like anxiety, PTSD, and things. By talking it out with people, with another person, that's how you can kind of delve into solving the mystery behind the puzzle of what's causing so many problems. I'll say everything goes back to one thing at some point. Earl, go ahead.
Well, CR is kind of like free therapy. You go down there, you meet some good people, and you get to trust them, and then you don't have to go pay a therapist. You can talk the same problems out with friends, with believers in Christ, and it don't cost you nothing.
Don't cost a dime, right?
Free therapy.
It's pretty painless, and it's like, especially with the Celebrate Recoveries that I've been to, you even get a little meal when you go and you sit down at a table with people you might not have ever met before. It's been good. Listen, Earl, obviously go to First Baptist Biloxi. I joined Jeff York and his group over at Celebrate Recovery at the Harvest Church. They're really originally out of Michael Memorial Baptist, but they're really, really, really good and strong group. I've been to Mosaic over in Ocean Springs. I know they got several other groups that are around us. I believe one in Pascagoula, one up in Van Cleve. Now I'm hearing they might have something going on up in the McHenry or Stone County area. But these things are going on all around the place.
There's one close to you. There's one
close to you. I mean, if somebody was to give me a zip code through a comment, I'll tell you the closest CR meeting you got to you. And it don't take me less than a minute, but send you to the right place. I'm thinking what I hadn't shared. Well, I mentioned the anxiety and the depression. Look, a PTSD. A lot of those things, man, they're so serious, and they just, I know that they can just eat at us so hard and affect the way it affect our actions during the day, and just with our being positive, a difference between being negative, having negativity or positivity for the day. And it's just so hard. But I believe when you come out of denial, it's hard to take care of anything yourselves. We've already mentioned that. So that's another area that if you can confide in somebody else, I really believe in the first three steps. I don't want to beat them into the ground, but or beat them into your ears, but they're so important. I think you go by those, and that's just that first step that really leads into recovery. And Earl, when you got a group of, like in our Celebrate Recovery, okay, after we have the big group, well, to kind of just describe it to people, we eat, okay, we fellowship and we eat,
yes,
then
sir.
we worship. and then we might hear a little bit about the steps of the principles and have a little short lesson, on whatever that principle or step might be on. Hand out some chips because a lot of people like to celebrate their dates, with chips. You got a couple chips there.
Right there on my keys, 9 months.
Right there, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And then look, and then once you hit that year mark, they start giving you the little gold medallions or the medallions, and it's a wonderful thing. I know that's not what's healing me, right?
Here's the thing, it is all God doing it, but we also have to put the work in. We have to show up. We have to turn it over to God. We have to do our part. It ain't just like, well, this is God's problem. I'll just lay back on it now. You still got to do the work, put the work in, but it's just so much easier when you turn it over to God. Just show up for it. That's the thing,
Right.
Show up and let God work his magic.
It works if you work it.
That's right.
It certainly works if you work it. And I always say, and a lot of our other folks that are with us at CR at First Baptist agree. But having those the blue chip or the red chip or whichever one you might have, and if some people, we have one guy that was wearing them on his, as a necklace like thing, and hey, look, that being on the keychains, maybe flipping it around or anything else, man, it opens up something to talk about. It can be a.
I wore the paint off of these.
Huh?
I wore the paint off of them when I'm feeling anxious or nervous about something. I just, they're in my hands all the time. It's something it's part of your recovery that you can, actually physically get a hold of and say, I've come this far. So.
Well, and they all have little sayings on them also that, refer to something. So, what might really be helping you in your life. Hey, and that being said, let's Earl.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here today. Really, no kidding. You know that you're a rookie at this, right? And you just took part in a 2-hour podcast.
Awesome.
That's cool.
I appreciate you having me on.
And I mean, God allowed it. You know what I mean? It's not us. I mean, I know it's not us, but I want to bring up one other thing real quick. I mentioned to you, I need to share this one other presentation with us. This is how we're going to close our show out today. And it's we're no people that's been here before or no stranger to it, but we're gonna have a little word of prayer, okay? And this right here is a serenity prayer, and man, it's easy to remember. You can look it up, but Earl, we're gonna pray this. Can you see it okay on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you start us off and get us down to at least enjoying one moment at a time.
Okay.
All right.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time. Go ahead.
Accepting hardship as a pathway to peace. Taking as Jesus did, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. And you can see at the bottom, that's by Reinheld Niebuhr, or I can't say his name, but sorry for the commotion right there. I just felt I had to take my hat off at the time. So thanks for bearing with me on that. Okay, look. Where is that? Right there. Let's close it out for the day. I thank you again for being with me. And folks, come back and join us next Saturday at 3:00 Central. Y'all have a great, great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
I think that went good, man. We were asked to go keep on going for a little while longer. And I guess I assume there was enough viewers, or they just had an opening on the show and they wanted just to let it keep on, keep on keeping on, since I guess everything must have been going on all right. But I tell you what, it was a long time and I got to pay. I think I got to pay. I got to make a comment in here. The Freedom from Struggle show, I have to do this, after these shows, because that's what I guess they use to post like further into Spotify, maybe on Instagram or wherever they go.
Yeah, I was going to share my email address with people if they wanted to send prayer requests, but I didn't know how that was.
I'll pass them on if we get any, and we'll probably get some. Providing hope to anyone with any type of hurt. I like to put that hurt habit or hang up. Did your wife get to watch any of it, you think?
I don't know. Blondie, did
she
you watch
probably
that? Yeah, I did. She said she watched it up until about 30 minutes ago.
Say enough's enough, huh?
No, she had to go cut the grass. The rest of it.
Really? Is it cooled off any?
I doubt it. It was fixing to rain, and she wanted to get it done before it rained, and I don't do enough around here. I guess I'm gonna get in trouble.
Earl on as a guest. I love having Earl on as a guest today for a 2-hour show.
Mr. Kent, we got through 6 steps. Maybe in a few weeks we can go through the last 6.
Hey, there you go. You know what I mean? But even spot, like I normally hadn't kept on going in them. You know what I mean? But there's always a time for everything. And I really want to try to have you got the Freedom from Struggle podcast, but like a Freedom from Struggle, 102 or 201, if you will, to where they move up a little bit and be in where we got an actual online group, you know what I mean? That's wanting to know more, that is actually more hands-on with them. Obviously it'd be virtual, but just having that followership and, support, the share, but that'll also be able to notice how things are happening in their life, and they can share with each other. We can share with each other, because it don't do me or you or anybody else no good to go to a meeting, go to 3 meetings in a row, you get through several steps. Oh man, I'm good. And you take off, even if you're still practicing everything, even if you got an accountability partner, but I never know if everything went good with you or not. You know what I mean? And then you're kind of leaving some, I don't know, in the military, we never leaving a soldier behind, right? And we always have a buddy. But listen, it's always a buddy system too. You're not gonna find too many single military folks out there. If there's one, there's gonna be a couple. Right. If there's a couple, there's liable to be 10 or 12. But that's what I mean. The military, just been so good for me over the years, and being a veteran, want to give back to some of these other folks. So look, I'm gonna go back. I ate another little piece of meat, but I didn't get a meal. I'm about ready to eat, and I got to go accept my coupon for a cruise.
All right.
Yeah. This message in the morning, we'll holler at each other, and I might have to eat some breakfast next week before church, but I mean tomorrow before church. But anyway, I'll message you either later tonight or in the morning. Okay.
Okay, I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Roger that. Thank you again so much.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. Really, thank you.
All right, we got to get Angela on here now with us.
All right, brother.
Later.
Later.